Right, hi everyone. I'm back shortly, just fresh from my stream while I was looking at the Premier League's matches for this weekend just gone. And I hope that you're all well. And for those of you watching on playback, I hope you enjoy it, or I hope you all enjoy it, really. And I hope you're all having a great day and enjoying yourselves and are safe and happy and all the rest of it. Anyway, so thanks very much for coming back to my channel, Warren's Team Talk. And what we're doing now is we're going to review the Brighton and Hove Albion v Arsenal Premier League game, which took place at the Amex Arena or Amex Stadium, whatever you want to call it, in Brighton on Saturday. Where Arsenal and Brighton thought out a goalless draw in the Premier League. And so without further ado, let's get into it. Yes, so before we get started, please make sure that you subscribe to my channel. Please make sure that you put a like on the video, the thumbs up button, and please make sure that you share the video with anyone you think might be interested in seeing it. That'd be really helpful for me. So if you could do that, I'd be really, really grateful. Anyway, so as I say, let's get on with it. So the Arsenal lineup for this game at the Amex Stadium was that Ramsdale was in goal. We had a back four of Tomiyasu, Ben White, Gabriel, and Kieran Tierney. And then we had a midfield partnership of Tierney of Thomas Partey and Sambi Lokonga. And then attacking midfielders of Saka, Odegaard, and Smith Rowe, and up front, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. And the subs bench had Leno, Cedric, Holding, Tavares, El Neni, Maitland-Niles, Pepe, Martinelli, and Lacazette. So this is how what the formations were like for this game. So as you can see, Brighton played with a 4-3-3. However, they had two deep sitting midfield players and then one midfield player, which was that's interesting. Yeah, so who's their number 8? Yeah, so Brighton had a let me start that again. They didn't have a 4-3-3. They played with a 3-5-2 formation. They had 3 centre backs, 2 wing backs, and then 3 midfield players, one who sat a bit deeper than the other 2, and then 2 up front. So, and then Arsenal went with a 4-3-3, and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang was playing up front on his own. So, yeah, it was quite interesting, really, because in the first half, I thought, as I've been saying, that I thought Arsenal got completely overrun and they were struggling to get control of the midfield, and they were struggling to get control of the midfield, dictate the tempo of the game. But this, to me, is no surprise, because if you look at that midfield, we had 2 players in our midfield, as opposed to with the wing backs, Brighton had about 5. And the 3 attacking midfielders, none of them have got a sort of defensive not defensive mindset, but they're not really ones that are going to come back and track back and help out their colleagues and Thomas Partey and Sambi Lokonga. And don't forget, Sambi Lokonga's still really young. So he's still learning, and a lot of that defensive responsibility would have fell on Thomas Partey. But the thing is, Thomas Partey is not a defensive midfield player. I don't know where this idea that he's a defensive midfield player comes from, because he isn't. And to me, it just showed that Arsenal need a world-class or top-class defensive midfield player to play alongside Thomas Partey. Because, like I say, Arsenal got overrun, really. James is in again saying, hi, hello again, Warren. Yeah, hi, James. Good to see you, mate. And then, yeah, so they were getting overrun in the midfield. I've heard a lot of comments about people saying, oh, well, you know, it was raining. And but hold on a minute. It's rain. It's England. It's going to rain. This is what happens in the autumn time, which is what we're in now in England. It rains. And the conditions were the same for both teams. And we just didn't cope at all. Brighton had overloaded the midfield, and it was no surprise to me that we struggled to get control of the midfield, because our midfield is the weakest part of our team. It really is. And I just find it baffling how the Arsenal hierarchy didn't realise that this was going to happen. And I think it's going to happen on a regular basis this season until it is addressed. It really will, because, you know, we haven't got the players to go out and compete in the midfield like we needed to. And the problem with that is because we're not getting control of the midfield, it means that we're putting incredible pressure on the back four, and in turn we're not creating chances for our strikers, or in this case our striker in Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. The other issue is that, for me, is that Saka looks really exhausted, and Emile Smith-Rowe is another one, like Sambi Lokonga, and the same goes for Saka as well. They're both still really young. So they are going to be inconsistent, and, you know, they're still learning what they need to do. And I think they're confused by Arteta's tactics. I really do. And Jace has come in with another chat saying, I thought your midfield was completely overrun. It was, mate. It was completely overrun. And it was because we didn't have the numbers in there. If I'd been coaching that team, I would have brought Ainsley Maitland-Niles on at half-time for Odegaard. I would have done, because we needed another body in that midfield alongside Thomas Partey and Sambi Lokonga, because neither of them are defensive midfield players. And I think Ainsley can do that role. I really do. And Jace has come in with another chat. As for the rain, it rained in most of the games on Saturday. The excuses these days are just pathetic from some people. Yeah, they are. And if Terry's on that stream tonight with Diesel and he starts going on about the rain, oh my God, I'm going to kill him. I'm absolutely going to kill him. Because it's just ridiculous. That's the sort of thing that Ty would have come out with. Ty from AFTV. And the sort of thing that Ty would have come out with, Julian would have come out with, and I can see Terry saying, yeah, well, you know, Xhaka wasn't there, and these young players were all really inexperienced, and it was because of the rain and all this crap Honestly, it just makes me laugh. It really does. You know, I remember games back in the 80s when the bloody pitches were like under about 2 inches of water, and the ball was getting stuck in the mud and all this sort of carrying. God knows how these players would have gotten in those sorts of conditions. Honestly, it's just mad. James Dunlop says you might need Tony Blackwell's permission for that, Warren. Laugh out loud. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I didn't take that into consideration, to be quite honest. So yeah, I mean, then, and the thing about this game as well is, I think the Arsenal players don't really understand what it is that's being asked of them. And the problem is as well is with Arteta, and he micromanages players. A friend of mine, the one who I talked about last time, he'd been up to Liverpool at the weekend. She got tickets for the Arsenal AFC Wimbledon match, and she told me that during the game, Mikel Arteta started shouting at Ainsley, "I'll do this, do that." And Ainsley shouted back at him, "Well, that's what I'm doing. Well, what is wrong with you?" And yeah, so it's just crazy. The man, he's off his head. He really is. Old School Gunners back in with another chat saying, "Hi, Warren." Hi, Old School. Good to see you again, mate. Thanks for popping in. And Old School says, "You're tearing it up, Warren." Well, I hope so, mate. I really do. So, yeah, let's move on now, because I'm starting to get a bit wound up, to be frank, looking at that. So this is a little match summary that I found on the internet. Nicolas Pepe got substituted in the 60. Sorry, Nicolas Pepe came on the 63rd minute for Martin Odegaard. And to be honest with you, like I said, I would have brought Ainsley on at half time for Martin Odegaard, because he had an absolute stinker. And in the 72nd minute, Lacazette came on for Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. And I'm surprised, really, thinking about it and seeing what happened, why Arteta didn't play the two of them up front together. Because particularly that, when this possession-based football that apparently he wants Arsenal to play appeared not to be working, Arsenal could have started hitting the ball long up to Lacazette for him to hold the ball up and playing runners from midfield. So yeah, I'm just a bit confused by that one. And Neil Maupay got a booking in the 74th minute. Alexis McAllister, I think his name is, got a substitute. Came on as substitute in the 78th minute. And Zoe Vetman got booked in the 82nd minute. And then there was another substitution in the 84th minute. And looks like a guy by the name of Solly Marsh. And then Ainsley finally got on in the last minute for Bukayo Saka. And Thomas Partey got booked in the last minute as well. So, yeah, there's some more chats here. James Dunlop said, "I thought Ramsdale did well again for you guys." Yeah, he did. He did. And I thought, to be fair, I think the whole defence did. I mean, because as I was saying earlier, the fact that we didn't have control of the midfield and we were getting overrun, it put enormous pressure on our back four. And the fact that they were able to stand up to it and keep them out, despite the fact they had about 20-odd shots or something, speaks volumes for them. I was really impressed with the defence, but the rest of them were poor. And Old School says Ramsdale is much better than Leather. Yeah, And Old School is as well because he speaks and he talks to the back four. Like I was saying to you a few days ago, I think Jimmy Rimmer used to do that. I remember Jimmy Rimmer used to shout and scream at the defence as well. And so did Emmy. Emmy Martinez, when he was in goal for Arsenal, he used to do it, and he'd control the whole penalty area, to tell people to go here and there. And he just orchestrates the whole of the back four or the back five. And Old School says, finally we have a keeper. Yeah, it looks that way, doesn't it? I'm pleased about that as well. And Aubameyang had a nightmare. Yeah, and mate, I think this thing with Aubameyang is because of Arteta. This is the first time in his career where he's struggled to score goals, and he's been managed by Jurgen Klopp, and he's been managed by a whole succession of managers, and it's the only time in his career where he's not scored on a consistent basis. Unai Emery had him banging goals in for fun as well. So for me, it's down to Arteta and his inability to set up a team properly. James Dunlop says we might be looking at Maitland-Niles and Van der Beek in January. Both of them are clearly not happy at the clubs they're at. It's possibly true, mate, but I'll be surprised if Arsenal let him go in January. The reason being is we're going to be losing El Neni and Thomas Partey to the African Cup of Nations in January, and we got Xhaka on the treatment table. That means if we let him go, if we let Ainsley Maitland-Niles go in January, that means the only midfield player that we'll have in the squad, other than youngsters from the under-23s and whatnot, will be Sambi Lokonga. I just can't see him doing it. In fact, I think we need more midfield players. And Old School Gunner says Odegaard played crap. Yeah, he did, but again, I think it's because of the way we were set up and the tactics we employed. Old School Gunner saying today is Thomas Rosiski's birthday. Yeah, thanks for reminding me of that. I did hear that earlier. So happy birthday to Thomas Rosiski. I hope he has a great day and he enjoys himself. I'm sure he will. I don't know if you've ever been to the Czech Republic. Jesus, my God. The women in the Czech Republic, man. Oh, my days. They're just on they're in a different level. They really are. And James Dunlop says, Jordan Pickford shouts at our defence a lot. It's leadership, and that's what we all want to see from our players. It is, mate, and it's really important. Like the goalkeeper has to control his back four. He really does. It's so important because otherwise the whole thing just falls apart. James come in and said, happy birthday to Thomas Rosiski. It was a quality player for you guys. Yeah, he was. And I'll never, ever forget that banger he scored at 3-point Lane for Arsenal. Put us 1-0 up after about 5 minutes of a North London derby. And the rest of the game was dire. But Arsenal won the game 1-0. What a hero. And State says they're to die for. Yeah, mate, they certainly are. Jesus. It's unbelievable. And then let's move on. Yeah, make sure anyone who hasn't done it already, please make sure to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and also please remember to share the video around. If you can do that, I'll be eternally grateful and I will love you forever. Right, so some more team statistics here. In the game, Brighton had 59% possession as opposed to Arsenal's 41%. And Passing accuracy for Brighton was 82% and Arsenal's was 76%. Both teams had 2 shots on target. Brighton had 21 shots and 2 of those were on target, and Arsenal had 8 shots and 2 of those were on target. Now that stat about the shots just shows you that if Brighton had a top quality striker, they would have buried Arsenal. Absolutely no doubt about it. And then saves. Both goalkeepers made two saves out of the 2 shots on target. So 100% record. Brighton committed 10 fouls as opposed to Arsenal's 6. And the corner count, there were 8 corners for Brighton and 5 for Arsenal. 14 crosses for Brighton as opposed to Arsenal's 6. And touches, Brighton had 646 as opposed to Arsenal's 500. Sorry, is that 5? Yeah, 507. Brighton made 13 tackles as opposed to Arsenal's 12. And Brighton made 13 interceptions and Arsenal made 18. And aerials battles won. Brighton won 11 and Arsenal won 12. And clearances, Brighton made 13 and Arsenal made 26. Now that last one about the clearances, to me, is quite telling because it just shows you how encamped Brighton were and pressing our defence. And like I said, I believe it's because we didn't have a defensive midfielder playing alongside Thomas Partey to break up their attacks. So they were able to get through our midfield with ease and put huge pressure on our defence. And that can't continue indefinitely because the defence at some point is going to buckle and we're going to concede. So it needs to be addressed. But whether Arteta can even spot that, I really don't know, or whether he doesn't want to, I don't know. Both teams had 1 offside each. Arsenal had 15 goal kicks as opposed to Brighton's 7. And they both had 18 throw-ins apiece. So those stats for me are quite interesting and tell a very accurate picture of what happened in the match. And so, like I say, the game ended in a 0-0 draw. And, you could see Graham Potter there and Mikel Arteta walking around in the rain at the Amex Stadium. And then this was the league table after the games on Saturday and some of the games on Sunday. The only game that was left to be played after this league table was drawn up was the game between Liverpool and Manchester City, and it had Arsenal in 11th place in the table on 10 points, and Brighton were up to 5th on 14 points, 2 points off the top of the table. And they've recently drawn 2 games on the trot. One at Crystal Palace, where they scored in like the 5th minute of injury time after missing a whole host of chances, and then the game against us. And if they had a top quality striker, I can imagine they could have probably won both of those games. And that would mean that they would now be sitting on 18 points, 2 points clear at the top of the table. So it's remarkable. It really is. But, Arsenal, they need to sort out this midfield because it's not strong enough. And when we go into these games against the likes of Brighton and whatnot. We should be dominating the possession, not like struggling even to get a foothold in the midfield. But for me, it's because our midfield's just not strong enough, to be quite frank. So thanks very much for watching, everyone. Please remember to like and subscribe and share it around and all that stuff. And I think there's some more chats in here. So let's have a look, see what people are saying. Read that one and that one. States has come in. Yeah, I've read that one. And looking at the table, both Brighton and Brentford have surprised me so far this season. They have, and Brentford have done really well. It started off really well for them when they played us and battered us, to be quite honest. And what was quite telling was that Ivan Toney, when he got interviewed at the start of the season, he got asked what his aims were for the season, and he said that he wanted to win the title. So there you go. You see, that just shows you it all. The mentality is absolutely spot on. So yeah, there you go. And I want to give a shout out now to some other YouTube channels. The Old School Gunners, he's got an Arsenal focused YouTube channel, and he does excellent content. He goes live quite a lot. In fact, I think it's almost every day, and he uploads at least one video a day. He really does. He's relentless with it, and his videos are fantastic. And then you've got the 3 Pointers TV, another great channel. There's 3 guys who present that, and they work really, really well together, in my opinion. I really like their videos. And they did a watch along at the weekend for the Brighton Arsenal game, and I went on their channel and had a chat with them at half time about the game. And then there's Arsenal Alex. He's another Arsenal. Another Arsenal supporter, and his YouTube channel has got content related to Arsenal, and another great channel. I love his presentation style. The man it's right on the ball. I absolutely love it. And but last and not least is the one and the only Claude and the Bansta's channel. Big up Claude and the Bansters and Terry and Diesel. And I have to say, when the two of them are on stream together, you can almost guarantee that at some point it's going to kick off. And sometimes it kicks off and it gets really heated at least once during the stream, sometimes even more. Because you've got Diesel, who's not impressed with Mikel Arteta at all, and he wants him out. And then you've got Terry, who thinks that Mikel Arteta is the greatest manager in the history of world football. So it's a great channel. Again, they usually do watch-alongs or videos about different topics relating to Arsenal and to football. So yeah, it's well worth a watch. And James Dunlop says, cheers, Warren. I'll catch you later on Diesel's stream. Should be a good debate and a laugh. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I hope Terry's going to be on there. Because if he is, I'm going to have a nice little surprise lined up for him. Just wait and see, mate. Yeah, thanks for coming, everyone. Coming in, everyone, and chatting. Thanks to James Dunlop, to States, to the Old School Gunner. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I want to give a special thanks as well to everyone who watches my video on playback. And please remember to put your thoughts in the comments section if you're watching this on playback, which is just down below, about the game and what you thought, what your thoughts were about the tactics employed by Mikel Arteta, and how you thought, where you thought Arsenal could have done better in the game, and any sort of observations you had about the game. I'd be really interested to hear that. So yeah, please do that for me. I'd love to hear what you think. So anyway, that's it for now, guys. I hope you enjoy it. I'm looking forward to seeing Old School Gunners video at 6. Apparently he's going live at 6 o'clock to discuss Arsenal's season so far, so that should be interesting. And then at 6:30, apparently Diesel is going to do a stream about, I would imagine, about Arsenal so far, which will be absolutely fascinating. I'm sure he'll have some interesting comments to make. And yeah, so that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. And I look forward to seeing you all really soon. Thanks for watching and take care.